Good afternoon, everybody. Maloa here, and I am super excited to be here with you today. I am here with the Minstrel Guild of Bree. They've got a special event coming up called Spring Fling, and they're here to tell us all about it. So over to you, Steel.
Hi, this is Steel Oak the Blue. Um, I am the founder of Runic Knights Orchestra, also known as RKO, and we were one of the founding members of Minstrel Guild of Bree back in 2015, along with Goblin Fire, represented by Bijan, and Harlequins, who are now over on Peregrine. They're no longer with us. And then we have Tanis and Kay who joined us later on, and also Lily was there at the beginning too. But we basically decided that to promote um, a music scene on originally the Brandywine servers where we started. That'd be a good idea to have an organization to recruit and invite bands to play in quarterly concerts. And we've been doing that, gosh, since 2015. So this is our 10th year on some of the events. Nine on the current next one coming up, Spring Fling, which means we didn't always do it every year. So the numbers aren't necessarily congruent with when we started. But yeah, Spring Fling 9 is coming up May 19th. Not May 19th, the 16th and 17th. This is my first live stream, as you can probably tell.
That's totally fine. Just, you know,
Yeah.
hang out and
So
pretend you're talking to a friend.
okay, so but we started with Harlequins, Goblin Fire, Runic Knox Orchestra, and the Country Bluegrass Band, and now we've moved from Brandywine to Glamdring with the new 64-bit servers. And our purpose is just to promote music and help bands get started, give them a showcase where we can play, and then this coming concert will be our first 2-day event, and we're really excited about that. We have enough people, enough bands. I think 14, the last count. We had one drop out. We did have 15, but so we're going to do Friday and Saturday for the first time. So everybody's excited about that.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about the bands that'll be showing up?
Oh, okay. Well, RKO, of course. We started back in 2009 as the official band of the Runic Knights Kinship. And that was uh, our kinship leader at the time, who was named Meldor. I don't know if you've heard that name before, but uh, he was looking for ideas to make the kinship more fun. And I suggested, why not a band? And he said, sure, go ahead. And that's how we started. Been playing ever since. We did our first Weatherstock in 2011, which was what, 2 years later. Originally, we mostly just played in our kin house, and occasionally, before they redecorated, there used to be a rock out here in front of the Prancing Pony. We played on top of the rock or down at the west gate at the wall there, and then we've gone from there. Um, of the original members, I'm the only one here today. You probably know Sanford. He's the only other original member. That we started off with 5, and still 2 of us left. Yeah, since 2009.
That's
Lily joined us a few years ago, and she's been with us and writing music and doing our posters and stuff. So,
great. So, Lily, why don't you tell us about the events and what you've been up to?
Well, really looking forward to having such a big show. We've never had so many bands before. And mainly I took care of the poster and managed our Discord for organization purposes.
So I get it. You're the behind the scenes woman that takes all the admin work on.
Yeah, I do a lot of it.
Good. Yeah, we all need one of those. um, Beej, why didn't you tell me about what you've been up to with regards to Spring Fling?
Okay, so as Steele said, I'm Bijan Clay. I'm Goblin Fire. I'm the founder of the band Goblin Fire. We were one of the charter bands for the Minstrel Guild. We've played um, every event we've played in um, from our days on Brandywine, and then we migrated over here. Um, Early on, I was one of the MCs where I would introduce the bands from one. When we would transition from one band to the next, I would introduce them. But we picked up two very, very talented young ladies to take that duty off of me because, as you're aware, I've got a lot other things going on in game um, uh, that I don't have as much time to give to the minstrel good as I would like. But we can talk about that offline on that. But um, so I have done some MCs in the for when our two ladies could not do it. But as far as this particular event, I'm kind of the interface to what all the other musical organizations on the server are doing, and not only the music organizations, but the other activities that other organizations are doing to make sure that we have some relatively clean scheduling between what the Minstrel Guild's doing and those other organizations. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I've seen that there's a couple of big organizations like the Glamdring social group. I know there's another group that's just for the musicians and theater folks, right?
and the theater folks, and I know this is a Minstrel Guild event, so I'm not going to actually promote those events.
Yeah.
I'll get to do those elsewhere.
Yeah, but it's great for me, now that Glamdring's been come on, just to see how really big the community has grown. I've been involved in a couple of events already, and it's it's great being back on a server that's busy, where people are showing up, where everybody's being so creative and doing a lot of different things. Okay.
And
Go ahead.
one more thing here, I wanted to comment that all these organizations, we are all in the same sandbox together, and we are
Hmm.
all playing together very, very nicely with the scheduling. But to make all that happen takes um, work from all the organizers to coordinate, and that's one of my roles.
Good, good. We're going to do a brief interlude here because some of the viewers are asking me questions, and anybody is welcome to answer these. So, first question is, what software do they use in game for the music?
Mostly songbook, I think. I
Okay,
haven't heard of any others. Has anybody else heard of anything else?
But use Maestro just to get to the game, and then once you've got the ABC format, then Songbook. I haven't heard anybody use anything other than Songbook in game.
so
It's a plugin for the game that lets you play ABC files.
nice.
Maestro is a transcribing program we use to convert like MIDI files into ABC scripts.
And then where do you get the MIDI files?
Wherever we can find them.
Okay, fair
Finding
enough.
them can be the challenging part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, I use MuseScore. It's a subscription service, and I get a lot of my MIDIs from there.
Okay, cool. And then the next question was, how do you pick their set list for an event?
Well, in our case, RKO, Zaxxon Dolan, you probably know him from Country Bluegrass Band. We get together, toss ideas back and forth. We write songs, put them in a folder, look at each other's folders, and then that's how we pick our playlist for a concert.
How about you, Tannis?
Well, it's different for every show. Sometimes we like to have a theme. We've done that in the past. Um, I know the last show we did at the Methel Stage, which is where this Spring Fling will be later this month. The last time we did a show there, we did a 90s radio show, like a power hour themed set list. So we chose songs that would kind of fit that genre. Back in October, for Pumpkin Jam, we did a concert series version of Rocky Horror Show. So um, generally, if it's fitting a theme, then we'll go along that lines. But other times, if we're just trying to choose a variety of music, Dragon Forge, which is the band that I'm the leader of and one of the co-founders, we try to play a different variety. But one key thing that I think a lot of the bands try to do is vary the type of songs that are played one from the next. So you try to have some upbeat, exciting, fast tempo songs, and then you can throw in a couple, dance numbers, the slow dances, and the foo-foo songs they call them. So just vary them up.
Mhm.
Try to keep it interesting.
Cool. Yeah, I know with
Yeah.
the beer crawl event, pub crawl event that I was in last a couple weeks ago, y'all all picked like um tavern appropriate songs, which it would just tickled me. Yeah, so Mr. Schatz, we more than welcome. I'll answer any questions that you guys have. Thank you for asking those questions. The upcoming dates, they actually have shows Spring Fling coming up on May 16th and 17th. Details will be in the description below for everybody to see. Kay, you haven't gotten a chance yet. What have you been up to?
Well, I'm Kay, and I play in Dragon Forge. And for the Spring Fling, I'm going to be live streaming the entire concert to youtube.com/@DragonForgeBand. So that'll be my my role as well as playing with Dragon Forge.
Fun. So yeah, I think that this sounds like a fascinating event. I hope y'all have a lot of success and great turnout for that.
Well, thank
Do you
you.
guys have anything else that you want to say about the event? I have that the bands, let me just run through. I just want to make sure that all the bands' names are mentioned. So we have Weeds, then We Free Banshees, The Wandering Bards, Cheery Little Bottoms Companions, The Hayseeds, and the Country Bluegrass Band. They'll be performing on the 16th, starting at 5 p.m. And then on the 17th, I have that we'll have Slammer Time, Alt Rock Band, RKO, The Rakes of Kill. What?
Kilkaril.
Kilkaril.
Rokaril.
Molly the Storyteller, Roses and Thorns, Goblin Fire, The Mighty Roars, and Dragon Forge. And that'll be starting at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you guys have anything you'd like to add
Well, she did
or say? Yeah.
Mally a shout out because she writes wonderful stories for that she tells on her shift. She doesn't play music, or does she? I don't know. Is she in any
She's
of
in
the bands?
Roses and Thorns.
She
That's
does.
Yes.
right. That's right. How could I forget them? Anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, she does multi-part stories where she continues them from concert to concert. Really good stuff.
So
We're,
I want
we're,
to throw out one more Minstrel Guild pitch here that Steel Oak said we try to do quarterly events, and Spring Fling is just one of them. But we also do a summer festival. We do a pumpkin jam around Halloween. We do champagne bash, which is generally around the New Year's, um, and then we do Hearts of
Hearts
Fire,
of
which
Fire.
is generally around Valentine's Day, and we try and get 4 or 5 shows a year. So I wanted to put that out there for the Minstrel Guild as well.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So if there's any bands out there on the Glamdring server that is looking for a way to get more involved in the music scene, feel free to reach out to Steel Oak in game. That's spelled Steeloak. There will also be a link in the description below with details on how to reach their site. And I'm sure they'd be happy to work with anybody who is either just learning to form a band or already has an existing band. Anything else, guys?
I just want to say that to be able to put on an event like this takes a lot of organization and collaboration amongst the organizers. So, as Steele mentioned, this is the biggest event that Minstrel Guild of Bree has done, being on the now combined server. So, being the first 2-day event, it's a little bit bigger than normal, and I just want to say on behalf of all the bands that are participating and all of the audience members that come to watch that we certainly do appreciate all the work that the organizers do to put on a big event like this. So just want to say thank you and kudos to them for always doing such a great job. And I know as a participating band member for the last few years, myself and my band members, we always have a blast doing these shows. So make sure you come out, support the bands on the 16th and 17th. Come have a great time, listen to some great music.
I forgot to ask, where in game is this going to be taking place?
At the Methel Stage, but just north of Bywater.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. Thank you to our lovely YouTube audience viewers. I hope that y'all will come out and watch the show, even if you just have to roll a low level tune. This is why we're holding it in the Shire, so that you can easily get access to participate without having to have a high level character. Thank you so much, everybody, and everyone have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.